Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to another Contributor of the Month video. I really love doing these videos. Right before starting, I was talking with Joshua, aka Seyi, aka the second Nigerian legend in the community after Philip. But yeah, we love doing these videos because with the Contributor of the Month videos, we get to know the background of the people behind the avatars on Discord. We spend the most amount of time and the most amount of our collaboration is there on Discord. So to be able to jump on a video and get to know the contributors, get to know you guys a little bit further is just a really cool thing. So say thanks a million for joining us and congrats again for being the contributor of the month for September. So just to get things going, could you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you calling from?
Right.
And
Thanks, Jake. Yeah. Thanks, Jake. Thanks for this opportunity. I was kind of like surprised when you messaged me and told me, "Oh, I was the contributor of the month." I was like, "Oh, wow, that was totally unexpected." Okay, so yeah, I'm Seyi once again. By the way, a full stack engineer based in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Um, I I got into tech during lockdown 2020. Yeah, lockdown 2020. So I bought a course on Udemy and all of that because I just felt that let me just try it out. Try it out. So along the way, I found that okay, this is something that okay I find interesting, and I think I want to start a career here. As opposed to what I was studying in school. So I started work. Mini tutorials, mini beside building projects, and yeah, that was how basically I was able to now find my feet in tech. Basically, and I've been in sorry experience so far. You know, 3 years by the down the lane. So yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. At the start of the pandemic is already 3 years
Three
ago.
years. Yeah.
Crazy. But so what was was there like a person, or was there any particular reason that put you on the like tech path, or were you just looking for things to learn?
Well, prior to the lockdown, I had it kind of like a brief experience in tech. That was in school. We were made to do a Python course. So that was my very first experience with programming. We had to learn Python. So after that, I just left for a while. But during the lockdown, I got in contact with someone and we're talking and all of that. So I just felt kind of like inspired, motivated that oh wow that someone can um build a career out of this, from the comfort of your room, just by through hard work and something that I feel like I should be doing because I left it earlier. I feel like why not I take it more time to do this something that it's not really hard, but then it's something that I feel I should do. So that would just kept me. I said okay, no, let me do this. I bought the course, started learning, started reading projects, started networking with people. That's throw myself out there, being active on communities, on Discord, on Twitter, throw myself out there. Not necessarily looking for a job, but then just trying to, increase my tech skills and tech knowledge. In that sense, yeah.
Very cool. And like when you started off, especially like when you started off choosing a course, and if you like fast forward to where you are now as a full stack engineer, have you like through that process realized that there's an area that you feel you're going to gravitate a little bit more towards? Like, do you feel a little bit more um, in line with front end work, or do you enjoy more back end stuff, or the balance? Because the majority of uh, the majority of the contributions that you've been adding to Komiser has been mainly around the front end. Is this something that you want to spend more time on?
Not really. Well, not really, because generally I enjoy both. I enjoy both stacks of tech in that sense. Of course, I have to start with the front end, before getting to the back end. Well, I'm not willing to contribute to the back end because I just started learning Go as the back end programming language. So I have to stick a while before I get this comfortable to go where I can actually contribute to the Komiser backend. But then I think I'm just in the middle in that sense. I actually I feel comfortable contributing to the front end of things, seeing how visually um, visually good it looks in that sense, and how users can interact with product that I built. It gives me certain kind of pleasure in that sense. And also on the back end side, writing logic, maintaining database, you see something that also gives me joy, seeing users, okay, you just know about the front end, but you don't really know what's happening behind the back. They don't really know how, okay, I'm making API calls, to this backend and all of that, and receiving data and all of that process. So the basic joy for me is just building products, better contributing in the front end, back end, but building products that users can use, I'm comfortable with, and at the back of my head, I'll be like, well, yeah, I contributed to this. I was part of people that use that beats what you're using, and one of the reasons why I'm enjoying this service or this product or this app or the web app is because of people like me, worked on it. So that's just my joy. So better contributing on the front, on the back, any any stack, gives me pleasure.
Amazing, yeah, and being kind of flexible and being able to pick up tasks from one side of the stack or the other. I guess just adds to the general enjoyment of working and building a product. So that's really
Sure.
cool. I definitely feel that too. I'm just wondering, could you explain to us a little bit about what's been your engagement so far with Komiser? You've worked quite closely with Philip. Tell us about how that experience has been like so far.
Okay. Working with Philip has been, amazing, for the past 2 3 months in that sense. Okay, so first of all, when I was looking for an open source community to be active in, one of the criteria I give myself that okay, I should find a community that it's kind of like active in that sense. At least we do meetings and we do all of that. There's a checkup basically on what we do in that sense. And that was one of the things I found at Comiza, the it's kind of like an awesome community to be in that sense. So that's what motivated me, to be here in that sense. And so when I got here, first of all, I looked at the GitHub. I looked at the GitHub page. I I remember attending one of the Komisar front end interview questions. I think I'm still with it. So after that, I had to move on. I had to check out the dashboard and see, okay, how can I contribute? We're looking at it, was a bit overwhelming, saying that, oh, because the code was quite huge, so, and I had to, okay, pick it apart and see, okay, where can I contribute to this? Where can I contribute to this? Then I saw an issue that Mohammed posted. They were like, okay, they needed certain spacing somewhere. I was like, okay, wow, I think I can do this. So this will be my first, entrance to this. So he assigned me the issue. Then from there I fixed it. Then the second bug I also did it. Then so I over time I got used to understanding the code base of the computer, because I one thing I found out that the code quality was quite high, in that sense, quite high, quite detailed, very mature. So that was one of the things that made me impressed on how everything is. So that was why it's attracted me to working with the likes of Kola, and especially the amazing work he did on the Onboarding Wizard in that sense. Perfect work. So working with Kola has been quite so good. He's quite responsive. We talk a lot. On Discord in that sense. Each time I have an issue, I usually reach out to him and all that, or I'm having an issue trying to make a pull request to to post my issue in that sense. He's always there. So it's kind of like help me in my networking skills, how to work with other developers, because it's not just on building code alone. How well can you communicate with your teammates? How well can you communicate effectively with your coworkers and fix issues together? So that was one of the reasons that has, I've learned a lot from that, and that's why my experience so far on Comisa is really treasurable.
Yeah, I'm really happy that you have the same opinion of Cola as I do. So, by the way, for those of you who don't know, Cola, aka Philip, aka the latest maintainer
Yeah,
of the Komiser project. So, congrats to Cola there.
around.
Yeah, and that's exactly why it's a no brainer to elevate him up as maintainer, because yeah, he's just really accessible and really knowledgeable and a great help. I was just quickly thinking as you were mentioning there, so it's one thing to like choose projects and to, but you're not really doing that often. You're not really like constantly looking as a contributor. I'm guessing that people aren't every day looking for different projects to contribute to. But one thing that you do choose a little bit more often are the issues that you want to work on. And I was just wondering, what's your general kind of position when choosing a GitHub issue? Like, do you want an issue that you're kind of like 100% sure that you're going to be able to close out in as soon as possible? Or have you in the past at least been looking at issues that you're kind of like 70% sure that you have the skills for it, but it's kind of like slightly outside of your comfort zone? What's your style?
Well, for me, I feel that okay, if you are quite in open source, you are quite very in open source, you should go for issues that you're like 90 to 100% sure of it, because starting off with that will definitely boost your confidence, make you very well, wow, okay, I actually contributed to this, so let me go for more. Then the more you go, the more you keep taxing yourself, to get better, and if you get stuck or have any issue, you can easily reach out to any of the contributors, any of the maintainers. Okay, this is what I'm issue I'm having. Can you help me out? Can you show me what to do? And you point it out to them. The whole process is that like I said, the whole concept of open source is that for me is that I see it as an opportunity for me to learn, for me to get better, for me to improve on my tech skill in that sense. It's quite easy to stay at the comfort of your home, building little side projects, building calculators and all of that. But is it and another different ball game, throwing yourself out in the corporate world, and taking on huge projects. That's what actually builds you, actually moves you, that actually defines you, as a developer, as a world class developer you want to be. So I would suggest that okay, you first go with issues that you are more comfortable with as a starter. Then as time goes by, you're going to take on the more complex one because you've already built yourself confidence, you already built the inner spirit that okay, well, 50% I can do this, but let's see. Even if I get stuck, I can usually reach out to people that have network with people that I've worked together with and can fix this issue. So then it becomes more of a challenge to you, and you won't be scared or you won't be shy, trying to handle it. So yeah.
Yeah, I totally know what you mean, because at the beginning, if you focus on trying to build up your confidence, I don't know if you kind of like share the same experience as I do, which is that you stop thinking of yourself as someone like, oh, I've got JavaScript in my toolbox, oh, I've got Go in my toolbox, oh, I'm pretty good at Python. You stop thinking of yourself as someone with certain tools, but you start, once you build up that confidence slowly, you might look at a ticket and you might not even have ever worked with the stack before or with the programming language, but you're pretty confident in your like problem solving
Problem
skills.
solving skills, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's the a big thing about software engineer in that sense. Like someone said in that sense, software engineer is someone that is always keen on problem solving. In that sense, problem solving is in your blood. In that sense, so regardless of the language, you just see that okay, wow, this is a certain logic on how to solve it. But then if it's a different language, just okay, just different syntax, and that's it. But then there's always a pattern on how to solve certain issues in that sense. So it will actually give you that what actually separates senior developers from junior developers. The mindset of
yeah.
how to solve issues. The and also the thinking process. That also contributing to this type of issues. You actually want to build your backbone, in solving these problems. It's something that at least for the few months I've been in Komiser, at least I've learned a lot, and I'm still working on myself, to get better on how to be problem solving. Problem solving, is a skill, and so building this, working on these issues is something that is going to help you, sharpen your skills on problem solving.
For sure, yeah. And even like if we look back at your experience, if we think back to the start of the pandemic, sure, that's not that much. It's not that long ago, but you already in this short amount of time fully embody what it is to be a full stack developer, which is that someone who's kind of like constantly hungry to learn, putting themselves
Mhm.
out there to learn new things and to be able to contribute. So that's totally obvious. But I was just wondering, what specifically are you kind of like really motivated to learn, like in the short term future? Like what are you pushing yourself to to kind of pick up and what kind of problems are you looking to solve?
Well, generally, okay, for the past 1 year or so, I've been looking towards working on products, that people use, mobile apps, web apps, that that solve issues, for users in that sense. So that has been my major motivation and major drive to get out there, the corporate world, to contribute to so the building of this, to building of products that many people use all over the world in that sense. So I said my stack, which is the main stack, MongoDB, React, Node, and I'm trying to add Go as a backend, programming language to it, to help me. Yeah, but basically, I just want to be able to build apps, build web apps, people that so that different users over the world can use this, and I'll be like, wow, I was part of this. That's why contributing in open source communities like Komiser, is the perfect environment for me to learn how to do this and learn how to do it better. So yeah,
Perfect. Yeah. So, and yeah, and really hoping that you're going to be part of the community for a long time for sure. But
sure.
just out of
Yeah,
curiosity, in your, so you're still a student right now, and correct me if
yeah,
I'm wrong. But in the
yeah.
short term future, do you feel you're going to be looking for opportunities in working on projects like that, or for companies that have kind of like high impact uh,
Okay.
applications?
Yeah, in the meantime, I'm working on quite a couple of freelance projects for different clients all over the world in that sense. But then I tend to step it up to working for companies that roll out high quality apps or services that people use out there. And like I said, Komiser is a perfect opportunity, a perfect learning place for me to know how to write code better, know how to interpret code better, learn how to communicate with other developers, which is quite important. It's a very important skill that I noticed that is needed for everyone, every developer out there, knowing how to communicate with your fellow co-worker. So that yeah, that's definitely okay, what the plan is. Definitely okay, what my pathway looks like now.
Nice, amazing. And yeah, in the description below of this video, we'll add your GitHub repo. So if anyone's looking for freelancers, you can hit Seyi up. So yeah, so I'm just quickly thinking now of just a couple of last questions. Um, you already mentioned that when you uh, were looking initially for an open source community to start interacting with and to start being a part of, it made sense for you to look for a place that had regular meetings, that had engaged members in it already. What other tips, what other things do you look for? And what are the, sorry, so I guess it's a two-part question. What do you look for when evaluating a new open source project to contribute to? And the second part is, what tips would you then give to contributors to start their journey if they're beginners?
All right. Okay. So for the first part of the question, the things I look out for. Okay, number one, I look out for how frequently this your products or your service is being updated. Many people associate open source projects with outdated libraries, outdated communities, and all of that. So I look for products or services that it's constantly being updated. It's being active in that sense. You can see on their GitHub page, there are many commits, their constant, their active contribution going on their GitHub page. That's a very, very positive sign for anyone that okay, wow, okay, this community is actually growing. Sense, it's actually a queue to hop in. Then also, I also look out for um not really, but I look out for how good your UI is in that sense of your products. Because I'm still a front end guy, so of course I look for that actually attracts me, and I think the word is the work you guys put on the UI of your products is really really fantastic in that sense. So I also look out lastly for how active the community is in that sense. How seriously the the community takes their meetings, their call-ups, and all of that is really really a great pointer for anybody to see that okay, this is going to be okay worth my time. This is going to be worth contributing to. This is going to be worth my every effort. So yeah, then my the tips for people that are looking to join in the open source community. Well, the one thing that I would say that should you have a clear mindset that okay, you going to the open source communities, you going to learn in that sense. You are taking a step further from building some little calculator or what do you call this to-do list app projects. Are taking a major step from that into working, getting your hands dirty, working on real life projects and seeing how it all interplays. So that's definitely for you. Open source is something that you are actually the one benefiting 67% of the time, because some people have a very wrong idea, wrong mindset about open source is how companies want to feed on cheap people from developers. I'm like, not really. It's actually for you. It's actually for yourself. You're going to get better at the end of the day. You're going to learn more. You're going to improve on your problem solving skills. You're going to network with lots of people. So it's definitely on positive on your end. So why not hop in? In that sense. And then secondly, I would say you don't be scared. Right? Don't be scared. Many people, many developers that are kind of like microphone shy or camera shy. They just want to be on their own with their 4 5 GitHub contributions on their GitHub page. That's just abstract from everybody. So don't just come out from that shell, and be willing to put yourself out there. Be willing to be proud of what you do, and be willing to throw yourself out there, because the only way you're going to learn. The only way you're going to get better. So don't be shy. Basically, just try to look for ways that you can just um, like I said, based on my first tip, use those first tips to look for communities that you see that they're active. You see that constant work, constant updates is being done there in that sense, and throw yourself in, because the open source has always been around. I think I was reading the stats that 90% of the top Fortune 500 companies use open source. So you see that open source is not just a myth or a small part of tech. Open source is actually a major umbrella in the tech space. So it's going to be for your own benefit. The earlier you came to open source, and contributed more. So yeah, so those are the few tips I would give for developers looking to join into open source.
Thanks a million. Great tips, especially that last part. Yeah, like just a good reminder that open source isn't a niche, just
Yeah,
corner of the internet of just a bunch of people that love coding outside of their working hours, and they do it to a few small projects. No,
Yeah.
it's everywhere. It's ubiquitous, and
Really.
and a lot of the companies that run the world run on open source. So yeah, it's a really, really great opportunity to work on high impact work, and then also grow as a professional doing so. Before we wrap it up, I'm just interested in one thing that you said there. You said, don't be afraid, don't be shy, especially to get started. I'm just thinking, if you look back to the moment in which you hadn't contributed your first issue, you haven't even mentioned or like um, added a comment to your first issue, were you scared? Was there like a little bit of kind of like shyness, or like, oh, should I write, should I not?
Oh yeah, there was a high level of uncertainty in that sense. Because I was trying to look at things from afar, look at things from how things are. That's why I started joining the Komiser meeting, weekly meetings. I didn't want to get noticed. I just wanted to see how things were just been going. But then you guys brought me to the front stage, and I felt kind of like welcomed. And it was a really, really, comforting environment that gave me the boldness, to say, let me take this first committee. Let me take, this first issue. So I immediately messaged Mohammed that, what, I'm ready. I'm ready. So the environment at Tailwarding was one of the major reasons why, I came out of my shell really quick. So yeah, I had that issue. I was shy, but then, my confidence level, skyrocketed, after I met the environment and how, welcome and inviting everything was. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, you're obviously not shy now. You're closing out a bunch of issues. You're coming on screen shares now too, and yeah, it's incredible the growth that we've seen in you in these last few months. So, say thanks a million. This has been great. It's an absolute pleasure to have you as contributor of the month for September. Thanks a million for everything, for being part of the community. And yeah, it's through people like yourself that the community is just one of the best ones out there. So thanks a million.
Thanks, Jake.
Cool. So have a good day, and we'll see you on Discord.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. All the best. Bye bye.